Welcome to the channel. I'm Tony the Technician. Today we're going to be looking at Harbor Freight's top rated ratchets. So we're going to be going over 6 or 7 different ratchets, and these are going to be their top rated or most reviewed ratchets, not necessarily the best ones because the best ratchet could have been released last week, but it doesn't have any reviews. So I think I have them in order from most reviewed to least reviewed, but still the most reviewed out of all of the ratchets. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to go through, kind of explain them, give my thoughts on them. Let me know your guys' thoughts on some of these ratchets. If you guys have used them in the past, whether it's good or bad. And if you guys want to see a video of like what I actually think the best ratchets are at Harbor Freight are, please let me know down in the comments. I can do that as well. But first up is the Pittsburgh 1/2-inch drive extendable ratchet. Honestly, my opinion, I'm not one that's really into the whole extendable ratchet thing. If I need a longer ratchet, I'll just grab a longer ratchet, or I'm going to grab a breaker bar. I can see where these would be handy if you want to use them in like roadside emergency bags or junkyard bags or things like that where you're on the go kind of, and you don't want to carry as many ratchets with you. Then I can understand that. But I'm not a big fan of the extendable ratchets. That's just my personal opinion. But I can definitely see where they have their place. This one's $23. It has 4.8 stars, a 98% customer recommendation, and 1,941 reviews. So it's kind of just your more generic head design with the quick release. A lot of different manufacturers or ratchets out there have this design. It's kind of just your cheaper design. It is a comfort grip. I do enjoy the Pittsburgh comfort grip. I think they're good. I've owned some in the past and no issues with those comfort grips whatsoever. There you can see it fully extended and the different positions. This is a 72 tooth design. As you can see here, it extends from 12 inches to 18 inches. It has 6 different locking positions, chrome vanadium steel. So yeah, my personal thoughts is if you need it for one of those scenarios, I think it's good to kind of reduce clutter and stuff in a to-go bag or something like that. But obviously, a lot of people do enjoy this ratchet at 4.8 stars with almost 2,000 reviews. Next up is another one that I don't personally have. Not just this, but of this design. This is made by a few different brands as well. This is a double bend. So this is the Pittsburgh 3/8 drive dual flex ratchet. So you're going to get your semi-locking flex head, and then about halfway down the ratchet you're going to get another semi-locking flex point. And this is going to be used probably in very specific situations to where you're working in super awkward angles. This isn't going to be a ratchet that you're going to grab and be like, oh, I can use this in multiple different situations, I just use it all the time. No, because the last thing you want your ratchet doing when applying a lot of torque is to flex. And even just using a normal flex head ratchet, you can run into the issue of if it's not a locking, the flex head wanting to move on you while you're trying to apply a lot of torque, and you can do some damage. So this isn't really going to be something that you're going to want to use all the time, just for those super awkward situations. Once again, this one does have that more generic head design, a little bit fatter with the quick release. But this one also has 4.8 stars with a 98% customer recommendation and 919 reviews. So rated highly and rated quite a bit. It's actually surprising because the 2 ratchets we just went over are the most highly reviewed ratchets at Harbor Freight, and probably the last 2 that I would have expected to be at the top of the list. Here's a little bit of information on it. 280-degree flex points, contoured handle, quick release button, chrome vanadium, full polish chrome finish, 72 tooth. And here is the product length at 9 5/16 inches long. Next up, we are looking at the Icon 3/8 drive professional long reach flex head ratchet with the comfort grip. They do offer this in comfort grip and non-comfort grip. And this rating is actually a combined rating of both the 1/2-inch and the 3/8 drive. And that goes for a few of the ratchets that we're going to go over. So keep that in mind. Obviously, same ratchet, just different drive size, maybe a different length. So it is a free-floating flex head. It's not semi-locking or a locking flex head. I like to keep a variety of basically all flex head ratchets. I like the free floating in some situations. I like the semi-locking, and I also like locking, just depending on what I'm working on, how much torque I'm applying at that specific angle. But this one is at $55. This one has 4.8 stars, 98% customer recommendation with 555 reviews. It's really weird that all three of the first ratchets we went over have 4.8 stars and 98% customer recommendation. But 555 is pretty impressive considering the amount of time this ratchet's been out compared to the previous two that we've went over. So you do get that 180 degree of flex head. This is a 90 tooth design, so you get a 4-degree arc swing. You got a little bit more length here for a little bit more leverage. And then the comfort grip, very, very, very similar to the Pittsburgh one. I just think the material is just a little bit better, so it's a little bit more comfortable. But with the Pittsburgh ones, when it comes to the comfort grips, while they're definitely not the best ratchets in the world, they're a good bang for your buck ratchet. But Pittsburgh does have a wide variety of ratchets. They have their very cheap ratchets, and then they have a little bit better ones as well. Next, we're looking at the Icon 3/8 drive low profile ratchet with comfort grip. This one is combined rating, 531 reviews for the 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, and 3/8, and I think they're all priced pretty well. When it comes to other brands in its quality range, sometimes they're a little bit higher. When it comes to Icon, that's one that you definitely want to compare to other brands just to make sure that you're getting the best deal. It's not always, even if you're an Icon fan, if you're looking for the best deal in like the Icon quality range, you definitely need to do your research, just making sure that you're finding the best deal possible. But sometimes you can get some good deals as well, especially if you can get the coupons and stuff to save yourself a little bit of money. This one's more of your just standard length, and as well as the last ratchet we went over, obviously you guys might be able to tell both of them were a non-quick release design, and the heads on them are much slimmer than your more generic design that we saw in the first couple of ratchets. This one, once again, the Icon being the 90 tooth with the 4-degree arc swing, and here's just a little bit of information on it if you would like to pause and read that. But this one does have 4.7 stars, a little bit of a change there, with a 95% customer recommendation, a little bit of change there, and 531 total reviews. Next up, we are looking at the Pittsburgh. Once again, not one of them that I would expect to be one of the most rated ratchets out there. Actually, all three of the ones that we've went over are probably the last three I would have actually looked at as being reviewed the most. But this is a 2-piece set, 1/4 inch, 3/8, and 1/2 inch drive. These are dual drive ratchets. So you actually have, there you can see, 3/8 and 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch and 3/8 on one ratchet. So you have all three drive sizes in a couple of ratchets. I don't like this design. To me, I get it. It's gimmicky. Another thing that you could probably toss in your junkyard bag or roadside emergency bag so you have less to worry about. But to me, I don't like the idea of the other drive size sticking up. I feel like I'm going to hit it on things, and I don't know. Personally, I don't care for them. But once again, a lot of other people do. These are at $17, so I can understand why they sell and get reviewed as much as they do. But this has 4.4 stars with a 90% customer recommendation and 508 ratings. I'm sure a lot of people get a lot of good use out of them. It's just not something that I look for. Once again, with the Pittsburgh, you got the 72 tooth design, so you have a 5-degree arc swing. They do come with that comfort grip, a little bit different design ratchet here than the other ones that we looked at, a little bit of a curved handle, more of your generic head style with the thickness. Definitely not a low profile, a little bit larger handle and shaft on the ratchet. So basically a completely different design than any of the previous ratchets that we've looked at before. So next up, we're looking at the Icon 3/8 drive flex head ratchet with comfort grip. So we've looked at the long flex head from Icon, the non-flex head from Icon, and now their kind of standard length flex head. This one is at $45. This is a combined review, 368 reviews, and that's going to be for all three drive sizes as well. So there you can see the comfort grip. I like the Icon design, very, not like the generic ratchets, but very, very similar to many of the other ratchets in its quality range, because a lot of these are coming out of the same factories. But I like the overall design. I prefer a non-quick release ratchet. The overall design, the thickness, the options available, the comfort grip. I think Icon makes some good stuff. It's just whether or not you're getting the best deal on them compared to other brands in its quality range. A little bit of information on this. Once again, 90-tooth design, 180 degrees of flex. The comfort grip, same stuff as the other ones. Here's just a little bit on the specifications. This one has 4.7 stars, 97% customer recommendation, and 368 reviews. Last one we're looking at real quickly is the Pittsburgh 3/8 drive flex head ratchet. Now, I was actually really surprised that a lot of these Pittsburgh ratchets of this design, even the non-flex head, are only at like lower 200s, higher 100s, even lower 100s. But I think that's because they've gone through a change. Not like real recently, but because these ratchets, the Pittsburgh ratchets, have been around quite some time. And I know a lot of people buy them. I owned them almost 10 years ago, and I was happy with them. With the amount of work that I did with them, I was very impressed with them. Once again, not the best ratchet available. Really good bang for your buck ratchet, though. I would take this ratchet over 2 or 3 of the other Pittsburgh ones that we've looked at in this video. I think it's just because it was relisted on their website more recently than some of the other ones that have just stayed that generic design for many, many, many years. And that's why the reviews are a little bit lower. It's still rated highly. It's just not reviewed nearly as much. And then there are some that are rated or reviewed more than this and the previous one that we went over, like the Icon Gold ratchet and one more extendable ratchet, but I didn't think we really needed to get into those, so I went on to the next 2 most reviewed ones. But once again, this is the comfort grip flex head, free floating flex head, and then once again all 3 drive sizes. It's a combined rating. You can also get this in non-flex head, so different options. I think they're good ratchets for the price. Non-quick release ratchets, 72 tooth, 5-degree arc swing, same jazz as the other ones. But once again, my experience with them that I had in the past, I was very impressed with them for the amount of work that I was doing with them, and I kind of knew their limitations. I didn't try and do extremely hard jobs on a regular basis with a cheaper ratchet. So they all have their place. It just depends on the type of work you do and how much work you do. That is some of the best ratchets available at Harbor Freight. This is $23. It has 4.7 stars, 96% customer recommendation with 129 reviews. And let me know your guys' thoughts. If you guys have any experiences, good or bad, with any of these ratchets, please share it down in the comments. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to smash that thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. And I'll see you guys next time.